Welcome into another edition of the Holt Naylor Show. On this episode, we're going to preview the ECU football season. We're going to preview East Carolina football, what we think their strengths are, what their weaknesses, the questions that we have about going into the season, and some things that we need to lean on. Some guys that we need to lean on, some coaches we need to lean on. And Caden, welcome to the show. Let's get to it, man.
Welcome to the show. It's been a while.
It has been. I've just had guests lately, but this week you're the guest. We're the guests together. So could chat it up. We've been kind of iffy talking about a bunch of this because we wanted to go in depth into it and really study it and really study the teams that we played, study East Carolina. So yeah, it's exciting now that we've done the research. Now we're ready to talk about it.
Yeah, I think this year, I don't know about this year compared to last year. I really feel like when you go to Pirate Radio, when you're on the radio, when you're talking to people around town, I really feel like, and it might be because of how we finished last year, but I really feel like there's a buzz in Greenville right now that I haven't felt in a few years. Like, it's been a couple of years since I felt a buzz about football season like that. I don't know if you're feeling the same way, but before we kind of dive into it, I just feel like it's August. You can smell the season almost changing, and there's just an absolute buzz.
Yeah, I agree. There definitely is, and I think it's exciting because definitely how we ended last season. I think last season could have went two different ways. Like, obviously, Coach Houston being fired was not ideal. We didn't start the best, but we finished good with Coach Harrell. Now, my analysis on that is, one, Coach Houston chose the wrong quarterback going into the season. That was something he pretty much, the Flynn and Mason, quarterback situation the year before, I think kind of he made up his mind, all right, the guy that I'm choosing, whoever wins camp, like, I'm riding with him. I think it rided him to get him getting fired, literally. But then when he did make the flip to Caton, went in the Charlotte game that we were watching. That was, what happened that game, who knows? But he got in and the game was already gone. But we're like, all right, he's showing potential. Same thing with the Army game. He was showing potential. And we're like, all right, we went to camp last year, a couple scrimmages, and we're like, Caton's really, really good. He played really well in those scrimmages. But Jake Garcia was already named the starter internally, not externally. But now you go into this season, you have a new head coach who has experience as an interim guy. Now, Coach Harrell was I'm going to take risk. We're going to go for it on fourth down. We're going to bring the energy. We're going to bring the juice. Interim head coach. But in my mind, what I want to see is, like, how does he approach being a head coach? Because now if it's 4th and 1 in the red zone versus state, well, as an interim head coach, you go for it. Mm-hmm. Like, 100% you go for it. You have nothing to lose. The only thing is you have everything to gain, which he did. He gained the head coaching position. But now you're in that position. Do you say, okay, do we take the 3 points, get points on the board? How does he adjust his coaching style, or does he adjust it? I don't know. I think he's going to have to a little bit, but also, like, there does need to be an aggression. Like Steve Logan said, I mean, you go for it when you're at East Carolina. But interim versus head coach, there's a lot more pressure when you're the head coach. So that's just something to look at.
Yeah, I'm hoping his coaching style stays more to that interim style. I think fans like it a lot more. I think when you're in a G5 school, you got to be a little bit more aggressive outside those Power 4 conferences. It might sound crazy and back. Why do you feel that way? It's just like, I feel like if we want to keep growing as a football team, growing as a program, you just have to do some wild stuff at times. I truly think it is to build your brand. And I think Blake Harrell, going for it, there's a couple games on fourth down, going for it in the 4th and 3. I think he should make that his identity, because I think a lot of times during the last regime, 2024, 2023, there's a lot of times that we had really close yardage and we just punted it away. So I think aggression, if he keeps the aggression and he executes, fans are going to love it. Of course, those fans are going to flip on short downage. But looking forward to this season, I think the offense has a lot of strong suits. And it's not only is every offense coach returning. I think that's a huge thing. Like, this, we played for 2 different staffs, one year to another. Hard to learn a whole new playbook, hard to learn a whole new play calling, hard to learn a whole new coaches' schemes and just languages. I think that's huge. I think Hauser coming back is huge. I think, the receivers, you have Yannick coming back, which is a massive, and you have Anthony Smith, but the guys outside of them, those transfers coming in, these are top transfers. Some really good guys at the receiver room and the running backs. The running back room, Marlon Gunn, London. I mean, I'm excited about this offense. And the biggest thing, question mark, when I'm looking at the offense, I'm like, I feel good about everyone in that offensive line. But when hasn't East Carolina's offensive line been a question mark in the last 8 years?
Yeah, that is something where, I think that's why Houston, because Coach Houston was brought in JDB, I think that was one of the reasons, and I know that's one of the reasons because I talked to him about it when he hired him. That's why he brought in JD, because of this offense. This offense protects offensive lines. You don't got to go have a stellar offensive line. You look at the history of ECU football. We've had some good offensive linemen, but like we've never had. Well, I don't want to say never, but we're not prone to having like dominant 5 up front offensive linemen, especially in today's world of transfer portal. You're going to get guys who transfer if they are that type or leave early for the draft. So I think it is important, and that is the question mark for me too is the offensive line, and then another question mark for me is how does Caden Hauser take a step from, at Michigan State, he started but didn't start full time. At the last year, he started but didn't start full time. He played well at both of those, and we both are very, very high on Caden and have been literally since he got recruited here. But how does he take the step? And everything I've heard has been great so far. But how does he take the step in games of saying, I'm the full time guy, I'm the leader of the program, I'm the face of the program? How do I take the step from being good to being great? And I think that is taking care of the football and taking shots down the field. And that's like, well, how do you do both? And how you do both is you understand defenses, you understand your offense. This is an offense that throws the ball down the field. Anthony Smith, who we'll get to in a second, you're talking about receivers, that I think can be extremely explosive. I think we have the running backs to mix in with the pass game, that if Caden has time, like he's gonna play great. He just needs to protect the ball sometimes. I think last year, if you look at his game splits, like when he threw interceptions, he like threw them in bunches. Mm-hmm. Not as much as Gate Garcia, I'm not saying like that, but he threw like 2 a game maybe if he did throw one, or had some where it could, like he threw one, the other one maybe dropped, like could have possibly been another interception. That's the one thing I want to see of him, is like games when he was clicking, much like me, honestly. But then there was a few games where he was still playing good, but then he would put the ball in danger maybe a little bit more. And that's okay as a gunslinger. Like in this offense, you need to have a gunslinger mentality of saying, like, I'm going to take a shot, and like as long as we're in this game, I can be aggressive. But this year, and we'll get to the defense, I guess, now, is like my biggest question as a whole is just the defense. I just think, not saying the defense isn't going to be good or not good, it's just like there's so many question marks with the new defensive coordinator. Coach Harrell's the head coach now. Like, how much does he have his hands on the defense? Like, there's just question marks there.
Yeah, I think the defense, I think it was question mark a lot last year as well, but a lot more this year through a lot less returners coming back. You got a couple returners coming back on the D-line, couple, you got a lot of transfers in the cornerback room. That corner defensive back room is a lot of transfers. I think there'll be a lot of depth there. I'm excited to see who comes out in those starting roles. But I think that, again, you point back to the offense. College football, what is it? It's scoring a lot. It's scoring big. We have the offense to move fast. So our offense can come out and move with that speed that we saw last year, but actually execute. That was the biggest thing at the beginning of the year, was just execution. I think that saves that defense in the beginning. My worry, though, with the defense is going to that NC State game, jumping right into the State game, because NC State ran the ball very well against us last year. Yep. They have 2 solid running backs that are returning from that game last year. And not only that, they passed the ball pretty well on us. They were pretty balanced.
CJ Bailey their quarterback had a really good game if you go back and look at the stats.
Yeah, CJ Bailey didn't. I'm not the biggest guy that's ever really that high on CJ Bailey. I still think he's pretty young. I still want to see more out of CJ Bailey's career. I don't think he's bad. I'm just still unsure. I think a lot of people are unsure of CJ Bailey. But you're right. He played an excellent game. And when I look at that State game, it's like, what's going to save us in that State game? What's going to keep us close, competitive? It's the offense, that maturity coming out of the offense. Because the defense, I think we're all unexpected right now. We're all going to see what's going to happen. Can that interior line handle an ACC offensive line, which struggled for State last year? But ACC versus American, the size difference is there. The physicality is a lot different as well.
The boys at Holt Naylor Show love a good cause. We also love to eat. We love good barbecue. That's why we love Sam Jones Barbecue. Go to Sam Jones Barbecue for lunch or dinner. They're absolutely amazing. Their food is amazing. But do us a favor and do Eastern North Carolina a favor and round up on your total. They're trying to grant 2 wishes for Eastern North Carolina. Make a wish. 2 wishes cost about $7,500 each. They're trying to do that by their 10-year anniversary on November 10th. Caden, big Sam Jones fan.
Love Sam Jones. Love barbecue. November 10th is also Holt Naylor's birthday. And all Holt Naylors want you to do on November 10th is buy Sam Jones and round up your meals and your dollars for those Eastern North Carolina
Thanks for being a good friend and knowing when my birthday was. That's why I remembered that so easily. So
that's
Sam
all
Jones,
he wants.
And if you're a business, catering, honestly, treat your employees. We're new business owners. Treat your employees. We'll do the same, even though we're the only employees and one other business partner. So, Thank you, Sam Jones. Yeah, this is something to look at, and I'm excited for the State game. CJ Bailey, let's talk about him for a second. NC State's quarterback. I think he's very talented. I think he has a really bright future. Am I convinced right now that they can go win an ACC championship with CJ Bailey this year? No, I'm not. I think in a couple years, he's got to grow a lot. I know Coach Dorn personally ish. I mean, he recruited me for 3 years. I grew to know him, and then we kind of stayed in touch playing them and obviously and stuff. And they tried with Brennan Armstrong. They tried with Grayson McCall to get transfers in there that like were successful, but then they tried to plug them in and they weren't. And I think now it's to the point where CJ had good a good freshman year for getting thrown in there, and now he's like, you know what, we're just going to roll you. We believe in you. We're going to put guys around you. They have a new offensive coordinator now, who was their quarterback coach last year. So I just think it's one of those situations, quarterback wise, where if you the matchup, like we should win that every single time with Caton Hauser. Now, if you look at the bowl game, if you look at just the stats, CJ Bailey might have had the better game, but Caton managed the game better. And when Caton needed to make plays, he made plays. CJ Bailey was another type in the bowl game where like you didn't know he had a good game until after the game. When you look at the stats, you're like, oh, that quarterback actually like had a decent game. You got to have like an it factor about you during a game, and like I believe Caton has that compared to CJ Bailey. I think we win that matchup. And you were talking about just like the defense in general. I think that is what I want to see and what I'm kind of curious about moving forward with just Josh Aldridge, defense that he's calling our defense coordinator for ECU is, with Coach Harrell, and I kind of just made the same analogy with offense when we hired JDB. When we hired Coach Harrell, we knew no matter what game you walked into, the scheme was good enough to win the game. Like, you didn't have to have the biggest guys. You didn't have to have the fastest guys, which you just said when you're going up against this ACC school, traditionally you have the smaller guys. We knew that Coach Harrell's defense schematically could keep you in the game or win the game. The scheme could win. Offensively right now, we know the scheme can win. Like, we have good guys in place now. That's why we're so excited about the offense, because we have the players in place. We have, another year of continuing with JDB. But the offense, the scheme can win, plus we have the good players. That's why I like the offensive line. Is it a worry? Yes, but it's really not that big of a worry because of the offense. The scheme can win. Now, the same thing, Coach Harrell's the head coach now. It's not the same defense. I want to see game one, does Josh Aldridge keep some of that defense to just keep us not in the game. I don't want to say that because I don't want to make it seem like I think we're going to get blown out, because I really don't. I think we'll win the game. But I think the first 3 quarters is going to take a lot of the offense to keep us in the game. And by the fourth quarter, the defense will figure it out. Aldridge will figure out what he's calling. Harrell and them will get together at halftime. And that's when you'll really see it click. And I think we take, third quarter and on, I think ECU takes the lead, and then it's a close game, but we win it.
Yeah, let's dive into that a little bit. I mean, you've what's that first game like on the road?
Yeah.
A lot of people know college football, winning on the road is hard. But winning in a state, an environment like NC State, it's going to be loud. It's going to be hot. It's going to be, a very hostile environment. You're coming you've experienced from the offensive side.
Yep.
But for the defensive side, what's that first time play calling, that first time player experience really going to be like for those players in that kind of environment?
Defensively?
Yeah, but you've experienced from an offensive side.
Yeah, I'll go offense first. And look, I played NC State game 1. We played NC State game 1, 2019, Coach Houston's first game. We were both very young. It was the hottest game I've ever part of, probably. But we were both very young, and like our team was very young. Like, we really had to play well, and they weren't even that good of a team. Like, in the history of NC State, like they didn't have that good of a year. But we were like beginning of a rebuild, so we were brutal. So like, we believe Coach Houston had a knack of like making you believe you could win, but I don't know if we could have won that game.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, going into a hostile environment, let's just get back to that question, is like, you got to rely on experience. You got to rely on your experienced guys, and you got to rely on scheme. I think scheme the first quarter has to keep you in the game, because even your most experienced guys in a hostile environment, like, they're going to be juiced up. It's game 1. What keeps you in games? Well, if we can scheme up a post route to throw over the top, and if you hit it or not, it gets you in the game. Like, if Caton goes out there and misses a wide open post route, then he's going to get the sideline and be like, well, dang, that's it. Jitters are out. I'm good now. Or if he hits one, he's going to get the sideline and be like, all right, let's roll. It's go time. You know what I mean? So, like, if the first quarter scheme needs to just, like, when I say scheme, I mean the play calling, like, scheming up the defense. Like, if the defense is in cover 2, get some middle of the field, routes in or, corner routes in and stuff like that. But I think first quarter, first couple drives, just like get everyone touches, these transfer receivers, get those guys touches, get these 3 running backs that are supposed to be really good, get those guys touches, make it a game, and just stay in the game until, mid to late third quarter, and that's when you make your push. And I think that should be ECU's game plan.
Do you think those running backs? I'm excited about those running backs.
Yeah.
I mean, we know Marlon Gunn has played good,
Yeah.
and I think the transfer back, and then of course London Montgomery.
Yeah.
Everyone, it feels like a new era of Rajay Keaton, kind of, but with 3.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited about that too. Excuse me. I think this offense historically, and when I say this offense, like the Lane Kiffin style offense, you know what I mean? And like the up tempo, and that's kind of where JDB came from. It is Ole Miss. And then if you look at the history of this offense, though, the Josh Heupel offense as well, the vertical choice offense, you always hear about the quarterbacks. You always hear about, the option routes and routes. You always hear about the receivers. But if you look, the running backs they're always top 10 in the nation in rushing, or like top 25 for like the really good teams. They'll be top 10. But I think it's one of those years where like you might not have one guy clear. There's 3 of them where like one guy runs for 1,000 yards. You might have 3 that run for 500 though, which is 1,500 yards. And like that wouldn't surprise me at all from everything that I've heard. So I think we're in position where like the offensive scheme will create holes because they have to drop back and cover the pass. It's just like how fast you go. The defense is going to be playing how fast ECU goes and how fast this offense rolls. Like you have to call generic plays or you're just guessing. So like the way defensive scheme works in a lot of college football, and you know this because you were the one signaling in the plays, is like people are stealing signals, but now they obviously they call in the headset, but there's still signaling going on. Like a lot of the blitzes in college football historically have come in after they saw the signal of the offense. They know the formation at least, and then they send a blitz based off of that, based off of tendencies. So like I think
So more people are stealing signals.
I don't know if they are anymore. I know in the past, yeah, like we really had to worry about that. You know that. Like I know, like Clemson, like Brett Venables, like I know. Well, I guess now he's at Oklahoma. I don't know how much they're doing it now, but like I know he was huge. Like I know he had a guy who like he brought everywhere with him. Like no matter where he went, I'm sure he's at Oklahoma now with him.
Yeah.
That was his job. Like all he did was just watch signals and steal signals. So Clemson had a great defense for the whole time he was there. I wonder why. They knew what was coming.
Yeah. Going back to the running back. And our next sponsor, one of my favorite football meals of all time, Jersey Mike's. No one catered us more than Jersey Mike's, and I always got mine Mike's way, and I love Jersey Mike's. One, because they cater great with great little snacks on the side, but their subs are the top quality subs and the best subs all across Eastern North Carolina, if not the United States.
We do love Jersey Mike's. Thank you for supporting the pod. I'm a big fan of their grill. I like the chicken cheesesteak. They got a good cheesesteak. Man, we love Jersey Mike's. A sub above.
A sub above.
A sub above.
Sub above.
A sub above.
Sub above. Like that last game during in the bowl game, we ran up 300 plus yards on NC State, and it's kind of a recycling backfield. It's like, is that going to be a big focal of the game plan again? I know that was a very different weather type related game, a whole new year, but I'm excited about that part of it.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think run game in a hostile environment's got to be huge. Like, you got to pop runs. You got to get the offensive line settled in there. That's how the offensive line feels good about themselves. Like, yes, they're going to feel good if they don't get Caton sacked, but, like, offensive line gets hyped up when there's a big run because they created it. Like, that's what they did. So, yeah, I think it's huge. I think, to win in a hostile environment, you have to stop the run, which is going to be huge, and you got to run the football. And then, obviously, protect the football, too. But, yeah, we'll see.
So last state game, you made a prediction, and it
was identical.
It literally came true. Like, scary. What's your prediction this game?
Gosh, now I'm gotta become perfect.
You become Notre Dame.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to think exacts here. So I think it's going to be a back and forth battle. I wouldn't be surprised if either team got up 14 points in the first half. I really wouldn't. But then I think, it'll become a 7-point game, 3-point game, 4-point game. And then the third quarter, mid third quarter is going to go back and forth. And then I think ECU wins it late.
Wins it late?
Yeah.
Any Anything in
Well,
particular?
the last one I was like, Rajee hits a run with 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Like,
I know. It was actually.
I don't know if it's that. I think we'll have
It's a late win though.
Yeah, I think we'll have a chance to kick it to win it, to redeem or revenge 2022 where we missed the kick. I think we'll have a kick to win it in Carter Finley. I think we'll hit it.
A kick to win it at Carter Finley.
Maybe not like time expiring, but like within a minute or two. Like we'll have a kick to take the lead within the last couple.
Then
minutes.
the defense is on their heels. Everyone's biting their nails.
Yeah.
That'd be an exciting one.
It would be.
I kind of I felt the same way. I feel like it could it's hard to win on the road.
It's
the road in college football. It's hard to explain it, but you have a bunch of 18 to 22-year-olds, and you're excited about traveling. Your mind's everywhere. I mean, we
first game of the season.
First game of the season, and it's hard to focus. Like away games are so fun because you're seeing fans. Fans are chirping you more than usual. So I wouldn't be shocked if we went down, like you just said, very early. And really seeing Blake Harrell grab the team and rally them around. I hope that doesn't happen, but I wouldn't be shocked if that did happen. I think it will tighten up kind of like that last game. I think this game's going to be very similar to the last game, but as the last game we were up, I think it could be opposite just because of the road factor in that game.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look, State has two new coordinators, defense and offense coordinator, but, Coach Doran hasn't, he's came out in the media and said we want to beat the crap out of him. I know how he is. I respect him for saying that. I know some ECU fans are kind of different of that, but I respect him for saying that. I'm excited about it. I think the rivalry's back. We even talk about the fight at the end of the game, so like it's going to be chirpy. It's going to be fun. So yeah, man.
Well, shout out to Dave Doran for at least noticing the rivalry. I know a lot of people in Raleigh don't want to notice it, but
yeah, literally. So let's go through the schedule. So you think we'll win that game? Let's go through it real quick. But
I think it's a coin flip game. Can we do 3 options? I think that one's a coin flip for sure. It's going to be tough. It's going to be late, and I think it could go either way at the end.
Yeah, I think we'll win. I agree. I think it's a coin flip. I think it's one of those. I don't think it make or breaks your season one way or the other. I really don't. I think it could make your season, but it's definitely not going to break your season.
I think the only thing, football-wise, yes. In the locker room, it's not going to make or break your season. I think fan base-wise, the only way it breaks a fan base's hearts, and it's still early in the season, is if we go out there and just get our tails whooped.
Yeah, which I don't think.
And I don't think that's going to happen. I think we keep it close. The fans are still going to be up. And if we win it, I mean, this place is going to be rocking. We're excited for the rest. I think week 2 is Campbell, but like we're excited for the rest of the year after that.
Yeah, so we'll skip week 2. That's home opener versus Campbell. We obviously all think that. Then another fun one, regional, Coastal Carolina.
What are your thoughts? Sellout already. You see that news? I think that will be a hostile game as well.
It will be.
I don't think Coastal's as good as they used to be. Coastal does have a former state quarterback, former Maryland quarterback, MJ Morris, who I think is pretty good quarterback at times. And I think that's a game I'm really think we're gonna win. Like I think we'll win it, but I think it will be a game with some struggles, the road environment again. Coastal Carolina giving free food out to people are going to have people staying late, at least definitely to the third.
They're giving out free beer too. Is that?
I think beer is free. I think everything but beer is free. But I think that's a game that I think that's a hard place to play as well. But I think we win that one. What about you?
Yeah, I think we win it. I think it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be close. I think it'll be close-ish the first half, and I think we'll run away with it. It is going to be a hard place to play. I think it wouldn't even be if it was at ECU. I think it wouldn't even be a close game. They went 6-7 last year. They got bodied 44-15 by UTSA in the Myrtle Beach Bowl last year. MJ Morris coming in, though, and Tim Beck, the head coach of Coastal Carolina, was the OC for MJ Morris when he was successful in NC State. I never thought they should have ran him out of there. I thought he was pretty good. I thought he was the future of the program. Then he kind of died off at Maryland. So he's the wild card. If he goes out there and balls out, then it's a close game. But I think we win it pretty handily, in the second half and feel good about it. We've said all along, regional rivalries. We played them in the bowl game. We're playing them now. We play them in baseball, play them in basketball. Let's keep this up. We kept talking about the Sun Belt, but that's what it is. That is fun regional. That's fun. It's good for everyone. So I'm excited about it.
I do like that, being able to play teams in that 2.5-2-hour radius. I think we need to do that and look for future scheduling. James Madison, Liberty. Oh, of course, we played Liberty last year, but still make that a core feature of East Carolina so we can build new rivalries, because you can always build a new rivalry, especially with these teams coming up.
100%. Then you got BYU, who goes 11-2. Last year we played them at home. Their quarterback, they lost their quarterback, so we know that. How do you feel about that one?
Well, that makes me more worried about Tulane. But BYU, one thing that worries me about BYU, is how strong their defense was last year. They literally had a top 25 defense.
Yeah, their best defense in Big 12.
And the strongest part of their defense was the run defense. So the high part where I feel good that we can equalize NC State and equalize a lot of this season is that high tempo, bust the run when you can because people are dropping back for that quick pass. This is one where I'm just like, when I have it on there, I have it kind of as like, I could see us losing this one.
Yeah.
I really could. Because one, as well, BYU, they travel well. Like, I remember when BYU came here in the 2017 football season. I've never seen an away team travel like that, especially across the country.
Well, I don't think they're fans. It's just the Mormons all over. I don't think they come from Utah. I think it's just like there's Mormons.
They just all support each other. Yeah. I don't know, but if they all came from Utah, that was pretty impressive. But this is definitely going to be a battle. I think the biggest thing here is they might start their first freshman quarterback in school history, and we know if they start him, freshmen make mistakes, and that's kind of what I look back at NC State on CJ Bailey's. I mean, he's still, in my eyes, still pretty young, and so if they start a true freshman at BYU and he has an off game, I think we could be competitive. I really do. But if he comes out here, because he does look like a stud, and he balls out, and that defense balls out, it could be a very, very hard game for us. But
yeah, I think that's the storyline. Is literally like, I think ECU's offense, anytime with a good offense, is like you're gonna have a chance if they play well. You just got to hope that offense is in East Carolina. Like, you got to play well versus good schools. You got to play good in big environments, in big games. BYU is a big game. We played at BYU my senior year, and like we knew going into it, like that was a big game. They hadn't been beat at night before in like years and years and years. One thing about BYU is, you already said, their defense. They're going to have some huge dudes up front, dude. They had some of the biggest guys I ever played in my career. And like, I remember, like, they looked big on film. And then I remember like lining up the first drive, and like we were backed up, and the place was shaking. It was the loudest place I ever played at because they're all sober. They're in there like 4 hours before. And we play them at home this year, but they're in there like 4 hours before dead sober because they don't tailgate, because they don't drink. So they're just in there like watching warm-ups. But they're going to have a good defense. I mean, I saw somewhere that someone projected them to have like 25 sacks this year. That's insane. They had over 20 last year, I think right at 20. So their defense is going to be really good. They return a lot of production. But I think it literally comes down to how good is their quarterback. Like, if their quarterback's iffy, we can hang with them. Like, we can figure it out, and we have a chance to win it in the fourth.
Quarterbacks make or break teams. They really do.
But in games like this, where like ECU does have an offense that can keep us in games, like as long as we can hold up front, it'll be a big environment in Dowdy-Ficklin. Hopefully we got a good record. Hopefully we already beat NC State at that point, where like BYU is going to be a big game. But it really just comes down to their quarterback. I have it marked up as a loss, but it wouldn't surprise me if their quarterback plays bad that we win that game. And I hate saying I have it marked up as a loss. I'm just trying to be realistic. I think it's a flip game. But I think one of the two, realistically, NC State and BYU, like, if you win both of those, then you're like really cooking with fire, and then you're going into conference play with a lot of momentum. But just historically, like, we just beat NC State. You know how hard it is to beat a team twice in a row, no matter if it's the same year or not.
Yeah, if you win both those games and you beat Coastal and you beat Campbell, you don't stumble on one of those two. I mean, this town is rocking.
Yeah,
this town is rocking because the next week's Army coming here. So I think I agree with you. I think it's, at worst, after the first 4 games, you're 2-2. At the best, yeah, I mean 3-1. There's a chance you go 4-1. I obviously would love to go 4-1, but I think 4-0. But I'm seeing more of a 2-2, 3-1 situation. But
yeah, I agree on that. I would love to see 4-0. I think there's a chance. I think every single game's winnable. BYU is going to come down. I believe the BYU game will come down to the fourth quarter. I believe the State game will come down to the fourth quarter, and then just decide you got to go win them. And I think that's what's fun about it is the State game's really preparing you. It's preparing you for Coastal. That's why I think we'll handle Coastal pretty heavily in the second half. And then the BYU game, that's your first big game. You've already played a sold-out crowd at State. You've already played a sold-out crowd, at Coastal. You played Campbell. It'll be a good crowd, but it's not a big game environment. But that BYU game is going to feel like a big game environment. That's going to be rocking. So, the guys will be ready to play. Hopefully by that point, the defense has it kind of, not that they don't have it figured out now, but hopefully they, have their momentum and they're moving forward. Then you got a chance. And I'm not saying we don't got a chance. I'm just saying beating BYU is very, very hard because, first of all, we haven't even talked about half their players are like 26 to 28 years old because they went on mission trips before college. So that's a whole nother thing because all of them are old. They're all mature, and like that does have something. There's guys in the NFL, like I'm 25, you're 27, happy birthday 2 days ago. They got guys on their team that like are sophomores that are like our age. So like that does matter. But I will say too, I traveled to BYU. I know how much the travel takes a toll on you. Like that's
a long plane ride.
Yeah, it's a long trip.
And one thing about that plane ride is there's no first class.
Yeah.
I don't care if you do have a couple first class seats and you might have a Delta plane. Like majority of the team, those long plane rides. Your legs are destroyed.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping they have like delays. I'm hoping there's a weather. I hope there's
snow
wind.
in Utah.
I don't know.
I don't know what,
but I hope that
of
plane
game
ride
is,
does
but-
take a toll on them. So
Yeah, I think it's a toss-up game. I think I would say it's a close one in the fourth, and we'll have a chance to win it. I think just my gut feeling, I think BYU wins, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if ECU wins. Obviously, we're going to be pulling for ECU. I hate even saying that, but just going through the schedule, that's where I think. Then next week,
short week
versus triple option team who went 12-2 last year and won the American Army. How do you feel?
The armed forces are hard to play against.
Yeah.
All of them. They really are. They just have this tenacity. And you know who loves Mike Houston loves saying tenacity, but they really do. They're gritty, and you got to be disciplined against those guys. And one thing I like about Army is Captain America's gone. Their quarterback is so they have to find a new quarterback. When you have a new quarterback in that triple option, like it could take a little bit to learn those snaps. It takes a little bit.
Game 5 though, we play them.
I know it's game 5, but I'm hoping Army kind of has a quarterback situation where they can't find their guy, because sometimes if you've seen Navy's big years or Army's past big years and they lose a top guy, the next year is kind of a stumble year, and that's what I kind of have for Army this year. I think they'll still be good, but I wouldn't be shocked if Army goes to 6-6, 7-5 type season. I think we have a real good chance if we come disciplined and we're riding high off a good start to the year. I think this is a game that I definitely have chalked up as a win for us.
Yeah, I think so too, and it's almost like you have my notes right there that you're reading upside down. But no, I think so too. I think they lost their quarterback, or I know they lost their quarterback. They lost their starting linebacker to Georgia, and then lost another guy on defense. And if you do look at it historically, like I remember when was it Keenan? What was the guy for Navy's name? Keenan, the quarterback. He was nasty. The next they had a really good year.
I
They
would
were
say Keenan Allen.
Yeah, I almost said that too. But then the next year, they like stumbled for a couple years after. I think it's going to be one of those where they go 6. They're fighting bowl eligibility. It's going to be 7-5 to 5-7, that type year. I have that as a win, but triple option on a Thursday, 5-day week is tough. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Coach Harrell becomes like the defense coordinator that week, because that's a whole different defense than like your standard. And Coach Harrell obviously has experienced years with it now. We played Army and Navy last year. It wouldn't surprise me at all if he literally just steps in and.
I mean, that's a defense. That's a game you're preparing for in the summer.
Oh, it is 100%.
I mean, even camp, a couple of days in camp, you're going to do a couple of triple options just for that game.
Yeah, 100%.
So I wouldn't be shocked either. I think that might be the best thing to do.
Yeah, I agree. And then good thing about that is you get beat up triple option, but then you have a bye week after that. That's on a Thursday night. That'll be a good spotlight for us as well. After the bye week, we both have Army chalked up as a win. Got Tulane. That's another big game. How do you feel about that? It's a Thursday night as well. We got 3 Thursday night games in a row and a bye week.
That's one I do have chalked up for us as a loss. And I have it chalked up in a loss because of their quarterback. I'm blanking on his name right now, but the BYU's quarterback last year. I think he's
the first Jew. I don't know his name.
They called him BYU. That's what they called him last year. But he's an explosive quarterback who can run, who's accurate. And
this podcast is brought to you by Anson Belts. Over 10,000 combinations of micro-adjustable holeless belts. Bryce Williams literally came up to me the other day and he said, "Holton, I heard your commercial about Anson. Is it really true that you can mix and match the belts so you really get all these combinations?" Yes, it's true. And yes, you need to get some before football season. If you're an ECU fan, they got the purple and they got the Jolly Roger. The coaches will be wearing them literally on the sideline on game days. Cade, we love Anson Belt.
I love Anson Belts, and I love like Bryce Williams said, it's the interchangeables. I interchange my buckles all the time, and guess what I will have on August 28th? My East Carolina Pirate interchangeable around my waist.
Oh, I hear you, bud. Thank you, Anson Belt.
I'm excited. Their quarterback they should be excited about. Very athletic quarterback. Very exciting quarterback as well. But one thing I think Tulane is building over there the last couple of years is they're building something to become one of the bigger, stronger G5 conference teams.
Yeah.
I really think they're doing a really good job in the transfer portals. They pulled a lot of big recruits in the transfer portals the last couple of years. And I think that's a team that just might be a little bit above our maturity this year. Maturity. And I think I got as a loss.
Yeah, Thursday night game. It is after a bye week. Weirdly enough, man, like bye weeks obviously help you, but you have experience with it too. Bye weeks are also hard to like play after because you're like, you get into the rhythm of playing. You've had 5 weeks now where you played even on Thursday night games, and then there's just a week where you don't do anything, and you're like,
we didn't want to go to practice on a bye week.
Yeah, that's how it is. It's almost like you just let us like in the NFL. That's literally what you do. Bye week, you're off. So it's just a weird mojo. It kind of messes up everything. That is a Thursday night game. I have that as a toss-up game. I know that they're very good in the trenches. That's kind of where they've established themselves the last couple of years. Kind of my junior year on, they've had like the best trenches, or if not the best, some of the best trenches in the G5. So I actually have that marked up as a loss as well. I think their quarterbacks are all very good. I've been watching some videos and stuff doing the research. The BYU kid might not even start. They also have an Iowa starter transfer who transferred last year, and 3 weeks ago he was supposed to be the starter until this other kid came. And then they got a young kid who can run. Their head coach literally just said, he was like, yeah, this year we might just play all three. Like they're all balling in camp. Two of the quarterbacks went 8 for 10 for
I don't buy coaching fun. I don't buy coaching fun.
Listen, no, I don't think they'll play 3.
I think we know who their starter is.
Dude, I'm telling you, the Iowa kids balling out too. They both went 8 for 10 for 2 touchdowns in their first scrimmage.
There's just something I don't have a trust for college football coaches telling the truth.
Agreed. Yeah,
they are propagandists.
Okay. I mean,
I have great respect for college football coaches I played for, but they're not going to go out there and be like,
yeah.
They like having like a card up their sleeve. Yeah. They like
understandable. Well, hey, we've been there, done that. That's why we're doing this podcast.
Yeah, so I think they know who their quarterback is.
Okay. We'll see. I think the Iowa kid literally might be the starter. But I will say,
who's playing more games this year?
The film I saw, the BYU dude was slinging it.
Yeah, he's great. I bet a lot on BYU last year.
So we have that as a flip game. You have that as a win or a loss?
I have it as a loss.
I have it a loss as well. Hopefully we win it. I have a flip game where I could see us winning it. By that point, you just hope your offense is rolling, and that's because I think our offense is going to be really good.
I think the next game, Tulsa, is an easy one. We'll just chalk up a win.
Charlotte, it's a win. They have a new coach. They went 5-7 last year. I guess you can say it's a toss-up because we haven't beat them yet, but I think it's a win.
I think it's more competitive than we want it to be. I think Tim Albin, coming from Ohio, he's coming off 3 10-win seasons in a row. A MAC championship. I think this year it's a win. I think it's a 14-point win, maybe a little bit less. Yeah. But I think in the next couple of years, Charlotte's going to be a tough team.
Yeah, that was a great hire. You're a big Ohio Bobcats fan, but I think he was a great hire.
Offense coordinator, Todd Fitch.
Yeah, Curtis Fitch. Todd Fitch, Skip Holtz's offense coordinator. Curtis, his son, was me and Caden's quarterback GA for a couple years. So, small world.
They got a lot of good things going at Charlotte. This year it's a win.
Yeah, it's a win. Memphis, another big one. They go 11-2 last year. They lost Seth Hennigan, who pretty much was what I am to ECU of. And I'm saying that in a way of he played for a lot of years as the starter, and some people loved him, some people hated him in Memphis. That's pretty much what I was here. So he's gone.
His dad also is the PA announcer.
Yeah. Local politics. That's why he was starting. But they do have a kid coming in Brendan Lewis from Nevada that I think is nasty, that I'm really excited about. There's technically a quarterback competition there as well. He threw for like 2,500 yards last year and ran for 700.
Dang.
So this dude just runs all over the place. I was watching his highlights earlier. I was like, this kid's pretty good. So I think he's got a chance in that RPO style offense where, like, if he gets comfortable, like, they could really, really, really get rolling on this. I actually have that as a win, though. I have us beating Memphis with a quarterback like that. The run, the pass, in the RPO offense. Like, I think he's going to have a great year. They could have the potential to be the playoff team. But I think we beat them.
Yeah, for that reason, a quarterback running 700 yards being that successful, I have that as a loss. But I think, again, I think all these games are winnable. But if I'm gonna go out here, we're gonna make a prediction. I think that's a loss this year.
Gotcha. Then UTSA, Owen McCowan, I think I said his name right. First of all, Owen McCown in Memphis, they were sending each other. The DB was sending Owen McCown the whole playbook and stuff before.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
There's been something like that recently.
I don't know about that one. They're getting a lot of hype. They went 7-6 last year. They finished the year great. They scored a lot. He had a pretty good year. I wasn't that impressed with him when he played here. I really wasn't.
He had a good year stat-wise,
because he's a lefty. He did. But they returned 8 out of their 9 top receivers from last year, and they were putting up good numbers at the end of the year. And they're in the state of Texas, so they're going to get transfers.
They're returning what other top
8 out of their 9 top receivers.
I don't know how they were top receivers.
But they're pretty much returning everyone he threw the ball to last year, I'm assuming. So a lot of people are high on them. I have that as a win. I don't think
I have that as a win too.
Yeah, I mean, does he have potential? Yes. Could they have a great year? But I think they're a little overhyped right now for going 7-6 last year.
Last year when they came in, I watched that game pretty thoroughly. I remember that game pretty thoroughly. And we just wrecked him. He was getting drilled every single play. I mean, his helmet came off in the air that one time. I was looking backwards. And he's a good quarterback. I just don't – if he has a similar line around him and he can get some shots on him, I think it's over. He made a couple bad decisions in that game. I really have this one as a win. I'm more concerned about other games in that column than UTSA. I think the reason a lot of people are high on him is, of course, those – returners, but I'm not looking at that these days in college football. So
yeah, that's the thing is like ECU technically doesn't have a lot of returners, but they have a lot of experience. And then FAU went 3-9 last year away. We have that both as a win.
I have it as a win, but they got a good quarterback.
Quarterback is a stud from Western Kentucky.
His name's Caden.
Is it?
Yes.
Wow. ECU's quarterback's name is K10.
I know. ECU's old quarterback, backup behind us, a couple of people was Caden. So.
Nice. So I don't know what the overall record was, but that's just how we feel.
Just count it up real fast.
So NC State we both have as a win. Campbell we have as a win. Coastal we have as a win. BYU I have a loss.
Yeah.
Loss. Army we both have as a win. So that's what 4-1 going in the bye week.
That's yours. I have 2 losses right now.
Who do you have as a loss?
I am not putting. If it's a toss up for me, I'm kind of as a loss right now.
Okay. Tulane I have as a loss.
Yeah, I do too.
Tulsa win. Charlotte win. Memphis, you have it as a loss. I have it as a win. UTSA win. FAU win.
So 8-4.
We both have 8-4.
How do we both have 8-4? 9-3.
9-3. Thanks, Grace, in the background. My wife.
You have 9-3. Last year you said 9-3, and we got a lot of. I remember last year on a fifth quarter. I remember on a fifth quarter Collins show. You guys were so high. We trusted you guys. I have 8-4 to not get that flack this year. I think that's a good.
Okay, I mean, yeah, but I'm being very optimistic in the toss-up games. So, like, I'm saying State's a toss-up game. I'm saying BYU's a toss-up game. I'm saying Tulane and Memphis is a toss-up game this year. Whereas you're saying those are like, you're probably splitting those. I'm like, win, 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 win. I think I was 3-1 in the toss-up games. So we split that. I'll say 8-4 because I'll split my toss-up games of State, BYU, Tulane, and Memphis.
So
I'll say we go 2-2.
I convinced you go 8-4 there?
Yeah, well, I think I love ECU enough where I'm like, we're going to win those games. But, like, realistically, 8-4 is a great season. It's hard to do.
Yeah. So you dropped back one. I'm also going to drop back one.
So you're going to go 7-5?
I'm going to go 7-5 just because you came down. I want to be different. And I hope this doesn't happen. But, I could, in those sneaky games where you lose when you're supposed to win.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go 7-5 because you went down 8-4.
That's not a real prediction then.
Well, I'm saying 7-5.
Okay. Dude, this gets me fired up. Now I'm looking at it. So I'm saying 8-4. I think, I can never doubt the Pirates too much, man. I'm excited about it. I think we have potential. State's a toss-up. Like I said, we win that. One thing I will say to ECU fans that I think is a huge thing to think about. Do not get – well, I'm not saying do not get because you do need to get emotional about these non-conference games. But view non-conference as only positive in my eyes. Like, looking at it as like, I'm not a college football analyst. I'm not saying that. But, like, if I was a college football analyst, ECU's goal is to make the American championship. Mm-hmm. Non-conference games only get you ready for the American. I think you can get into the American Championship with 2 losses next year. I don't think you have to have 1 loss or no losses. Like, I think you can lose, and I mean conference losses. Like, I think we can lose 2 conference games and be in the top 2 of the conference and make the conference. Now, to do that, you probably will have to win 2 or 3 of your non-conference games. But just looking last year, like, Army goes 12-2, and Tulane was 9-4. Going into the conference championship, or maybe 9-3. Like, I don't think you need to do that to go. I think you need to have I think you could possibly 8-4 or 9-3. You make the conference championship this year. I think as long as those conference games are where you don't lose as many. The non-conference you can lose some, get your feet wet. I'm not saying we are, but just don't get freaked out. Don't put too much stock in the non-conference unless you win. That's all I'm saying. Like, if you win, buy all the stock you can.
I would disagree. If they go out there and get their tails blown
yes.
out,
But I'm just saying, like, if State's a close game but we lose, if Coastal's
I know what you mean.
Like, if Coastal State and BYU, realistically, those are 3 really hard traditional programs to beat, and I think we'll win 2 of those games at least. But if they're close games, like, that tells you enough, and that's preparing the team for conference play.
Who's your G5 playoff team?
This year, to be completely honest with you, I feel great about Tulane. I feel great about Memphis. I think Memphis has a ton of upside in the fact that if Brendan Lewis comes in and is the quarterback, I think he has a ton of potential where he could do Johnny Manziel and just have a special year. But I think if you're just looking at, like, okay, I trust the trenches, I trust all that, I think Tulane's your team.
I would pick Tulane as well. Also, a little sleeper one, UNLV. I think they had a good year last year. I think they're building something.
Do they still have the go-go offense?
I don't know if they still have the go-go, but
how are you going to predict someone you don't even know what offense they run?
Listen, because they have one of your favorite coaches of all time over there.
Who?
You know who? You're one of your favorite recruiters.
Who?
Are you kidding me?
You don't know his name.
I'm forgetting. Why you do that to me right now? Delete that, bro. Why you do that?
Who is it?
You're supposed to save me. Here, we're clipping that. 1 second. Well, I blanked.
One of my favorite recruiters. Oh, Dan Mullen.
Yeah, okay, let's rewind that now.
All right, go again.
You asshole. Because I'm picking UNLV.
Okay.
Because they have one of your favorite coaches of all time, Dan Mullen.
Dan Mullen, okay. I wouldn't say favorite coaches of all time. I think he's very good offense.
You tell me all the time you love Dan Mullen.
I did love Dan Mullen. He's not my favorite coach of all time. I know you didn't coach.
Or who's your favorite coach? Not ECU coach. Who's your favorite?
Oh, okay. I don't know. Like Tony Dungy?
Dude, get out of here. Oh, my God. Anyways, Dan Mullen, I think he's walking into something very special.
Yeah.
I think he's going to make it even more special.
Okay, who's your Heisman this year before we let you go?
Ooh, I'm between 2 people.
Okay.
Lenore Sellers.
Yeah.
Because this is why.
Dude, are you reading my notes?
No. I like Lenore Sellers because last year proved you don't have to be on a good team.
Mm-hmm.
Colorado was good, but they weren't, like, a really, really good team.
Yeah.
You have to be the most exciting player.
What's your Heisman pose? Can I see it?
You don't have to be. You just have to be an exciting player. And Lenore Sellers is one of the most exciting players to watch. I think he puts up great stats. I think he could see staying in New York. And then my other guy who I had might not be playing. I hope he can get out of his allegations. John Mateer.
Who's that?
Oklahoma's quarterback who's getting accused of gambling charges right now.
No.
He's the one that sent the Venmos.
What?
Allegedly sending the Venmos of saying, like, betting on USC versus UCLA. But
no way.
It was an inside joke. Allegedly, he's getting potentially in trouble with that, allegedly.
Dang. So who's your Heisman winner? Lenore Sellers?
I think John Mateer, when he's at Washington State, when you're watching late night football, he reminds me of, like, a little bit of Lenore Sellers. He's a quarterback that's very good. They're fun to watch. He escapes things kind of like Lenore Sellers, but he's not a big, bulky guy. So it's a little bit different. But those are my 2 guys.
Top 2 guys. Okay, you want to hear mine? So I really love Lenore Sellers. I really think that's a big one. You want to hear mine?
Of course.
Marcel Reed, Texas A&M. Last year I called Cam Ward.
Man.
No, I'm just telling you. He's like Lamar Jackson. When he was rolling last year,
he was rolling.
It was literally like watching Lamar Jackson, where you're like, holy cow. That's when Texas A&M, they were like, they might make the playoff. And this year, I think the recruits are rolling in, the money's rolling in, and they got a quarterback that is electric to watch. He's going to be in games. He's going to be in primetime games. And if they're winning,
And he's fun to watch.
He's fun to watch. And if they are winning, he's going to make the highlight runs. And I think he can throw pretty dang good. Last year, I said he couldn't throw, and then you got on me, and I went back and looked. He can throw, and he can run too. I think they're going to be in the primetime games. He is my Heisman winner.
You're picking him over Lenore Sellers?
I am. I think Texas A&M has a playoff year, so I think that's why. I think South Carolina's getting close. I love Shane Beamer, who recruited. He recruited me at Georgia, obviously, their head coach. But yeah, Marcel Reed is my Heisman Heisman winner, and then another one that I think will have a great year is LSU's quarterback. I'm blanking on his name right now. Is it Walker Howard? That's not his name.
No, dude.
Garrett Nussmeier. Yeah.
Nussmeier.
I think he's really, really good.
I think fundamentally,
yeah,
like your traditional fundamental quarterback, he's the best fundamental quarterback.
Fun fact, so when I was at the Manning Passing Academy, all of LSU's quarterbacks and all of Tulane's quarterbacks, so all of LSU's whole quarterback roster goes to Manning Passing Academy. They don't do the whole thing. They just do the workouts. And Jayden Daniels was there, and I was like, this dude's nasty. But Garrett Nussmeier was there, and they would go back to back, and they were like, yeah, that's a freshman. He was a 5-star. He's like the next big thing. Dude, he could rip it. I was so impressed with him. And while he was the backup that many years, I'm like, dude, he's going to transfer to some small school. But no, he sat it out and played, and he's a baller. He can rip it.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite quarterbacks to watch. Let me ask you a fun random question now.
All right.
Top 3 worst locker rooms you've been in on away games.
Dude, you know how many concussions I've had? I can barely.
Worst. I'm talking about smells. I'm talking about cramps.
Cincinnati isn't Cincinnati.
You can add even professional if you've been in any bad professional ones.
No, actually, Lambeau Field's not the best. It's not very good. Dude, to be completely honest, it's terrible. But I can barely remember those. But that's like I was playing. I'm not no offense, but I was like
this guy.
No, I didn't. I was like
playing.
That.
I
didn't
hit.
mean it like that. I'm just saying I don't know. I didn't really have time to look around or anything. I mean, I guess I did.
Okay, I'll tell you, Navy.
I thought I was going to say Navy, but I was thinking about
it. But
it.
also, it's old.
I do remember the for some reason Navy has planes go over and you can feel it shaking. That's pretty cool.
But you're in a room as big as this room.
Yeah, it's small,
and it feels like you're in junior high.
Yeah.
And another one, Tulsa. Tulsa's was a cool little tunnel.
Yeah, it was cool.
But it was leaking.
I don't remember that.
There's a tunnel.
Remember. I like their stadium. It's smaller. Cool stadium. I like their stadium. Okay, your next one.
So I said Tulsa.
The worst locker room I ever was in was when I first got to ECU. We were in the visitors' locker room.
Oh, Scales Fieldhouse.
Yeah.
The visitor locker. ECU has an awful visitors' locker room. It's not that bad, but it is bad compared to a traditional one. What's the best? Oh, best one?
Yeah.
I'll say on a away game.
USF. They got Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I think NC State has one of the best away locker rooms.
Yeah. USF has a professional football team locker room.
I wasn't that impressed by the professional football team locker. They're nice, obviously, compared to a lot of.
Any other fun questions?
UConn is a nice one.
National championship.
Oh, national championship. It's gonna be
national championship winner.
I think it's.
Or should we save that to next episode? Yeah, let's.
I think it's gonna be Big Ten SEC.
Yeah, we'll save that for next episode.
Big Ten SEC.
Yeah, we'll save that for next episode. Big Ten SEC. Okay, we will talk about that soon. College football's getting here.
Big Ten SEC.
Big Ten SEC.
Big Ten SEC game.
Okay, we'll talk in depth. We'll go over our playoff predictions.
Oh, there's so many teams this year.
There's just only 12. Only 12 in the playoff, Cade. Not that many. Good?
I think it's 3 Big Ten teams.
I
think it's going to be Oregon, Ohio State, or Penn State.
Okay, we'll talk about it next time. Drew Aller, I think, is very good, too. We'll talk about it next time. College football is getting here. This is obviously our good season. Every single episode, every single Wednesday, we're going to be dropping this. Make sure you tune in. We're going to be releasing some fire. Let us know. Tweet at us. At our personal, at the whole Ayler Show. Let us know what you want to see, what you want to hear, what you want us to talk about.
I got something.
Right.
Can we bring the questions back during the season?
Yeah, we will.
We haven't had those.
We'll bring them back.
Can we bring the best bets back?
Yeah, we're bringing best bets back.
Can we bring...
Dude, we'll talk about it. Let the fans decide.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for joining. We'll see you next time.